All right. I didn't put any props in the details. You don't need props necessarily, but we will be sitting for a while to begin with. So if you want a block or a cushion under the hips to make that a little bit more comfortable, you can do. We'll be taking big toe pose lying down at the end. So if you like a yoga strap or a belt to reach the foot, you can, but you can always just keep the knee bent. So if you haven't got either of those things, don't worry. All right, so we are working mainly with gravity today. I can't actually believe we haven't done this before, but lots of poses that we just rely on gravity to let us fall into them. So lots of nice long holds this morning, nice chilled class. We'll also link that with balance so that we get the element of breath practice in there as well. So we will do our alternate nostril breathing at the start, and we'll bring that in a little bit in our practice. So you want to take a nice comfortable seat, somewhere that you can be for a few minutes to begin. And when you're there, if you're using the playlist, you can pop it on, or your own music. Oh, hang on, I'm just looking because I should be. Hang on, you have to bear with me. It's just flashed up that I'm connected to Alex's AirPods. It's fine, it's gone. All right, find your music, pop it on, and then bring yourself into a comfortable seat. Settle the hands down on the knees. Make any movements, any adjustments. And just begin to settle into your practice. So with the eyes closed, you can just begin to tune into your internal world. Be aware of any sensations. Any small movements of the body. Encourage the mind to join you here for your practice. Notice where it is and just give it a focus of the breath. You're observing the path of the breath as it enters and leaves the body. Tuning into the gentle rise and fall of the chest. Taking the breath a little deeper. Feel the belly expand as you breathe in. Draw belly button back towards the spine as you breathe out. A little bit more energy through the breath. And if you're settling here with your breath and this feels a nice place to stay, you can just remain exactly as you are. Keep awareness on the breath. If you would like to take alternate nostril breathing, nadi, shodhana, we'll do that for a few minutes. So you use your right hand. You bring the hand up towards the face, first two fingers resting between the eyebrows, thumb and ring finger towards each nostril. We start by blocking the right nostril with the thumb, taking a big breath in. Pausing at the top to swap over, blocking the left hand side and then breathing out. Breathing back in through that right hand side. Pausing to swap, pressing the thumb in and breathing out. Take that breath back in through the left hand side. Swap at the top and breathing out. So you can stay with this breath. Take it at a speed that suits you. After every inhalation, you have that little pause, a swap, and then breathe out the opposite side. Feel no need to hurry the breath. But equally, it shouldn't feel strained or difficult. Working with that little bit of resistance as we breathe through one side at a time. Balancing out both sides of the body, both sides of the brain. You have a few more rounds of breath. After your next exhalation, just drop the hand back down to the knees. Keep the eyes closed. Be aware of the breath passing through both sides of the nose. You can keep the eyes closed as we start to move into our practice. Just to begin with, we're sitting nice and tall, stay just as you are, but a little lift up through the spine. And the shoulders slide down the back of the body, and then from there, drop chin gently towards the chest. Notice the natural stopping point. And then continue to stay there, dropping as much weight into the head as you can. See how the body just gradually adjusts, finds more length through the back of the neck. It can sometimes be quite hard just to give in to that sensation of gravity. We hold the head a little bit under our control, so keep releasing. And just dropping the head forward may feel enough. If you feel a little bit tighter through the sides of the neck, take very small movements, just dropping the head ever so slightly towards one side. Not really to work into the side of the neck, but just to change that balance. And then move back through center, take it ever so slightly the other way. Keep releasing the head forward. And then come back to center, chin to chest. Lift the head up nice and slowly. You can still keep the eyes closed here if you wish, or just Nice soft gaze. Drop the head over to the right hand side, right ear to right shoulder. So just the same, we're giving the head time to fall, work with gravity. You want to use a little bit more, drop your left hand down by your side, so fingertips towards the earth. Gravity drawing both ways, the head to one side, the arm down to the other. Breathe into that left hand side of the neck. You can almost feel millimeter by millimeter that muscle just lengthening. If the arms drop to the side, just gently bring it back to the left knee. And then bring the head up slowly towards center. And from there, we take it the other way. Drop left ear towards left shoulder. And release the right hand down towards the floor. Send as much weight as you can into that right arm and the crown of the head. One more breath here. Slide your right hand back to the knee and lift the head nice and slowly. If the eyes were not already open, blink them open, arrive into your space. And then take a nice big breath in, reaching the arms above the head. Exhale, cactus the arms, open the chest. Big inhale, open the arms as wide as you can, expand, and then draw forearms together as you exhale. So movement mainly in the upper back, not a full cat and cow. Inhale to open. Exhale, draw elbows and forearms together. Couple more. Lovely, and then open back up. From there, we're finding all fours, so just remove your cushion or block if you were using it. Spin yourself round. Find your tabletop. To begin with, just regular cat and cows, just to warm into the spine. Keep it nice and easy, breathing in as you drop the belly, lift the gaze. Exhale, round the spine. Match it breath to movement, listening to your body. Take one more round through your cat and cow. And then as you come back towards that tabletop position, widen the knees a little bit, sink the hips towards the heels, extend the arms forward, bring forehead to the mat. And then tune it into that sense of gravity here. Notice where you can bring closer towards the earth. It may be that you soften through the arms and the shoulders. You can maybe release more weight into the head. Or you can breathe softness into the hip crease and send the hips lower towards the heels. Take 2 big breaths, expanding into the belly as you breathe in. And softening, releasing as you breathe out. And then from there, you're just going to tuck the left arm underneath the right. So thread it through. Turn to face that arm, so dropping onto the left ear. Keep sinking the hips back, but here bring extra weight into your right shoulder, your right upper arm. And let the full weight of the body drop down onto that left arm. You're pressing it down towards the earth. In your own time, unthread nice and slowly and take it just the same on the other side, threading the right arm through, coming down onto the right ear, so you can gaze towards the left arm, send weight into the left shoulder. Body weight dropping down onto the right arm. Unthreading. And then from there, lifting back up, tabletop position. Just shuffle forward slightly on the mat if you need to. We're extending the right leg back, toes to the floor. Full body weight pressing back through that leg. So sending weight through the right heel. And then coming back forward with the weight, sending the right leg out to the side, extended child's pose. Press down into the outer edge of the foot. Maybe tuck your left heels, maybe not if you can sink well back. Just start to send the hips back and extend the hands a little bit further forward. So this may feel different to your regular child's pose. You may not drop as far back with the hips. But use your breath to find that sense of weight and gravity here. So almost expanding as you breathe in and then dropping as much weight into the body wherever you can as you breathe out. Yeah, and some people will be right back, sinking down to the heel. If you're a little bit higher, just find weight. One more breath. And then we swap sides. So lift up if you're back towards the heels, bring that right foot in. Start with the left leg extended behind you, so that pressing back into the left heel. And then take the left leg round to the side, level with the hip, press into the outer edge of the foot, drop your hips back to wherever they want to go. I suppose the sense of gravity here is just finding that you're not holding the pose. So like you're sort of releasing into it. You're not guarding into the hips. Lovely. Bring yourself back up. Bring that leg in. Take a couple of easy cat and cows, just again working through the spine. And then when you're ready, take a downward dog. Tuck the toes, lift the hips up. Bring movement into the pose or stillness if you prefer. And just work on one leg at a time, pressing the heel towards the earth as you soften the opposite leg. Maybe gradually getting a little bit closer. And then from there, you're walking to the top of your mat. So lots of little steps in towards the hands. Walking to the top of your mat, keep the knees soft, fold the body forward. We come back to our forward fold a few times, but every time just let the weight of the head drop forward. Even if that means softer knees, deeper bend. Right, take a halfway lift, draw the fingertips up the shins. Step your right foot back. Soften knee down to the mat, lift into your crescent lunge. All right, dropping here. So Find a sense of ease through the hips, but also slide the shoulders down the back. The only upward lift of energy we have is through the fingertips, through the crown of the head. Everything else is rooting down. Take a couple of breaths. And then bring the hands down to the floor. Bring them inside your left foot. This is a little bit like lizard lunge, but slightly different. I want you to heel toe your left foot further forward. So normally we have it underneath this knee. Send it a little bit further forward and stay up on the hands and just sink the hips forward. If you can see where I am. So it's like your hips are sort of hammocking in the middle, they're hanging out there. Bring that foot forward as far as you need to. And take it a little bit wider as well if that feels nice. So there should be a nice stretch through your right hip flexor, compression into the left hip. Stay with it, take a few breaths here. Can you send the center of the body any lower, make it any heavier? All right, and then from there, just start to inch the left foot back and in towards center. Pick up your back knees, you're moving through a full runner's lunge, and walk round to the long edge of your mat, right hand side. Turn the toes forward. Yeah, we're only here for a wide forward fold. So take a nice big breath in, lift the chest, and then full weight of the body drops forward as you breathe out. So land wherever you are. You may be a lot higher. You can still give the weight of the body into your forward fold. Tip a little bit more into the balls of the feet. Feel that sense of gravity drawing you down. So it's not so much forcing the pose, it's just moving gradually into it. Lovely, come back up halfway onto the fingers. Walk back round to the top of your mat. Step back from here into high plank. Nice big breath in. Knees or toes, it's your journey down to the mat. Keep hands underneath the shoulders, working against gravity here, strengthening through the back. So press pubic bone and palms down into the earth, draw the elbows behind, and then use your inward breath to lift through the back of the body. Take that strength through the back. So lower back down. Do twice more with the breath. So keep pressing hip points down into the earth. Tailbone stays long. And then next time you lower, press back through all fours, tuck the toes, downward dog. And take those little steps back into the top of the mat. Arriving this time, take a halfway lift, fingertips up the shins, and fold back down. Again, just release full weight of the body forward. So sometimes as you manage to let go a little bit more, let the body fall, you might feel it more through the hamstrings, maybe through the low back. It should feel a sensation of stretch, not discomfort. And then a halfway lift, flat back. Left leg this time is stepping back. We come into our low crescent lunge to begin with. Sweep the arms up. Find that sense of dropping into the hips, sliding shoulders down the back body. You still find that sensation of reaching up through fingers, even though everything else is drawing down, like those energy lines we've done before. One more big breath in. Bring hands down to the mat, inside your right foot, inch your right foot, so heel toe, to crawl it forward toward that top corner of your mat, and then sink into the hips. Just giving the body a chance to land here. And then bringing that right foot back towards center, a little bit back towards the body. Pick up your back knee. Walk round to the left-hand side of your mat. Spin the toes forward. Take a halfway lift as you inhale. And drop forward into your fold as you exhale. Crown of the head dropping wherever you are, weight falling into the balls of the feet. And come up halfway. Walk back round to the top of your mat. Step back, high plank. Breathing in. Lowering as you exhale. Same again, working through the back strength of the body, this time through locust pose. So take the hands down by the sides of the body, press hip points, pubic bone down into the floor. Use your breath in to lift through the upper body, through the backs of the legs. Keep drawing shoulders away from the ears. Tuck the chin slightly to keep length through the back of the neck. Lower back down, forehead to the mat. We'll take one more locust on your next breath in, lift everything up. And then lower it down. Press hands underneath the shoulders, move back through all fours, downward dog. Look towards your hands, walk it forward, top of the mat. And then this time, inhale, root to rise, stand all the way up. Bring hands to heart center. All right, this is our only tiny little bit of balance. Tree pose, standing on your left leg. Bring hands to heart center. Root down through that left foot. Bring your right foot into tree. Just avoid the knee, but you can rest the foot wherever feels most comfortable. Draw the knee open. And a little bit of breath practice whilst we're here, just using your mind, not the hands. Start to breathe through your left nostril. So breathing into that left hand side. It's a focus rather than a physical breath. So keep breathing through the left. One more round of breath. And then set the right foot back down, hip width apart. Take the hands behind the back, big inhale, puff the chest open. Hinge and bow yourself down to the earth. Crown of the head drops down, hands lift away from the back of the body. Let everything work with gravity dropping down apart from the shoulders, which you draw back away from the ears. Release the hands down to your mat. Take an inhale, halfway lift. Step your right foot back. We're coming into warrior one, so not a full stride back. Make sure you're standing on train tracks rather than a beam. Angle your right toes slightly forward. You want to be able to press down into that right heel as much as you can. When you're there, lift the body up. Drop into your left knee. Again, slide the shoulder blades down the back of the body and take all your awareness into this back leg. So you're pressing down into the back heel. It may touch down, it may be lifting slightly. Send weight and gravity into that foot. Use that strength through the leg to drive the right hip forward. Tailbone descending. Then take hands behind the back. Again, puff the chest. Taking humble warrior. You can go as low as you want to go. Take an inhale and start to tip forward as you exhale. It may be about halfway. You may be able to drop down inside that left knee. Keep pressing into the feet. That's it. And then come back up on your inhale, all the way back, warrior one. And then hands come to the heart, step forward back to the top of the mat. Tree pose on your other side. So lift and lower the toes of the right foot. Press down into the earth. Start to pick up the left leg. Find your shape, rooting down through that right foot, and then bring awareness of the breath into the right hand side. As we move and breathe heavier, it's slightly harder to focus just on one side, but even if you just feel that the breath is passing into this right hand side of the body, filling the right lung. Maybe find a sense of expansion through the right rib cage more as you breathe. Release your left foot down, take the hands behind the back, interlace the hands, big breath in, hinge and fold as you breathe out. Release hands to the floor, take an inhale, halfway lift. Step your left foot back, setting up for warrior one, so not too long a stance, toes angled forward to 11 o'clock. Press into your left heel and knife edge of foot, bring yourself up into warrior one. You keep trying to drop into your right knee, but take awareness into the back leg, that you're creating length through the hamstring, through the calf, and pressing your left heel down. Lovely. Keep pressing into that back heel, arms come behind, puffing the chest for humble warrior. Take a big breath in. Hinge yourself forward, maybe halfway, maybe all the way down, right shoulder inside, right knee. Keep spinning the hips underneath you. And then lift yourself back up. Reach the hands all the way up for warrior one. Take an inhale. Hands come down to the floor as you exhale. Just turn to the toes of the back foot. Step back into your high plank. Weight comes forward as you breathe in. Lower it down. Your choice of cobra or locust, whichever you wish to do. Flow it with the breath, lifting on your inhale. Lowering on your exhale. Take two more. Last one. Hands underneath the shoulders if they're not already. Push yourself back up. Move through all fours and spin the legs round underneath you. All right, little forward fold. So your choice here. Slightly less intense for the hamstrings is a head to knee pose. So right foot inside the left leg. Toes are lifting, you're forward folding there. If you want it a little bit more intense, cross your right foot over. So top of the foot's resting on the floor and then forward fold. So that just builds a little bit more through the back of your extended leg. So your choice, head to knee or with the cross-legged. That's it. Take an inhale to lift through the chest, find length, and then hinge yourself forward as you exhale. You want to find somewhere that you have a little bit of energy through the leg, lifting the left toes. A little bit of energy through the crown of the head, reaching forward. But then we soften with gravity. We let the body just drop. Keep breathing into it, dropping forward. A few more rounds of breath. Nice and slowly start to walk yourself back up. Straighten out the legs, give them a little shake. And then take the same on the other side. So either left foot into the inner thigh for head to knee, or you're crossing it over the extended leg. Pick up the right toes wherever you are, hands either side of that extended leg. Nice big breath in, lengthen. And then fold yourself forward. Keep lifting through the right toes, extending the crown of the head forward. And then soften into it. Maybe tuning into that little rise and fall of the body with the breath. Tiny lift as you inhale, and dropping back as you exhale. And then walk yourself back up. Extend the legs in front, little bend in the knees just to help you lower down. Take an inhale. Roll through the spine as you exhale. When you reach the mat, draw the knees into the chest. And then extend feet to the sky, take a happy baby. Really drop into this one with weight. So starting from the tailbone, let it feel heavy, like it's descending towards your mat. Working up through the low back, pressing down into the mat, knees fall off the sides of the body. And then shoulders drop back into the earth. Heavy head. From there, with your right hand, loop your big toe with the peace fingers. So everything's staying as it is for now, but just loop and hold the big toe. Release your left foot to the mat. This is where you can use your strap if you prefer. Start to extend the right leg as straight as you can. It may stay quite bent, that's okay, or you can push away through the heel. And if you have quite tight hamstrings, keep this left leg bent. If you feel quite nice and open, a little bit more space, send the left leg straight. Drop the right shoulder back towards the floor. Take a breath in. And then as you breathe out, start to open that right foot out towards the side. Sense of lifting the heel more than lifting the toes. Come to where you can pause, keep heavy in that left hip. And then bring the right leg back to center. Bend the left knee in if it was straight. Return to a happy baby, looping both big toes. And then release the right foot. Take the same on the other side. So right leg stays bent to begin with. Maybe extend a little way through the left heel. Keep drawing the left shoulder back. Your choice to keep the right leg bent or straight. And then with an inhale, fill and open the left leg out to the side. So your right hip is anchoring down. Left leg is falling with gravity. Breathing into it. Bring your left leg back up. Bend the right leg. Return once more to a happy baby. You can loop big toes or you can take the outer edges of the feet. And then release the feet. Keep drawing the knees into the chest. Final pose here, our virtual legs against the wall. So extend the feet up towards the sky. Hands come down by the sides of the body. Press soles of the feet towards your ceiling. And then find a position with the legs where they are almost balanced. So obviously gravity is drawing down the hips. So just try and stack knees above the hips, feet above the knees. So there is that sense of balance. You may have movement through the legs, or they may remain quite still. Take a few more breaths here. And then slowly hug the knees back into the chest. Any final movements if you want to take a little rock, return to happy baby, or take a full stretch of the body. And then when you feel ready to settle into your Shavasana, you can move there. Any pose where you feel supported and where you can release full weight of the body down to the support of the earth. So these are your last few moments to really just let gravity hold you. Take a moment to scan through the body, top of the head, down to the feet. Notice anywhere that you can release. And then settle in with your breath. As you keep the body still, stay focused on that connection and support through the back of the body. And start breathing into the space above you and into the front of the body. Gradually taking deeper, more expansive breaths. And then beginning to reintroduce small movements to the fingers and the toes. The hands and the feet. And eventually moving through the rest of the body. Taking a stretch, or hugging the knees. When you feel ready, moving your way back towards a seated position. As you arrive there, almost letting all the weight drop down, almost like a slumped position, fully rooted down through the hips, and from there, just picking up through the spine. So sending energy in both directions. As you root down with gravity and rise through the crown of the head, be aware of that space that you create in between. Breathe into that space. And then with that, we can close our practice. Final big breath in, extending the arms high above the head, lengthening, bringing palms to touch. And then draw thumbs to the forehead for kind thoughts, to the lips for kind words, and to the heart for kind actions. Thank you all for joining me this morning. Namaste.